Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Stark Fishing. Thanks for joining me, and I'm going to start by giving a quick reminder that this is a 360 degree video, which means you should be able to look in all directions. If you haven't already, please subscribe and support my channel. It would mean a lot to me, and you'll also get notifications for whenever I upload new content. It is April 20th, a late, windy Easter Sunday afternoon, and I've just launched from the Houlihan boat ramp. Now this is my favorite area to fish because I know it better than any other low country spot, mainly because I live only about 3 minutes from the launch. So due to the wind, I figured my best bet would be to get up into one of the many canals along the Savannah River and find a spot to focus on without being blown away. Now one of the benefits of the wind is the absence of gnats, which is a welcome relief today. I'm going all artificial, but only because I simply don't have any live bait. I'm using a Zoom Super Fluke with an albino coloring, and I'm casting and bumping it back along the bottom, just looking for a bite. Now, one of the things that I love about fishing for redfish is that it reminds me of fishing for largemouth bass. And if you're a freshwater fisherman, just about anything in your tackle box that you use to catch largemouth can be used effectively to fish for saltwater fish, specifically redfish. And there's the first fish. And that was a really nice hook set, if I must say so. Now this is the exact moment that I realized my dip net is not in the boat. The previous week I'd cleaned my boat out to take some friends out to what's called Sharktooth Island, and I forgot to put it back in there. I'd actually been fishing a couple days before this, but it was such a bad day where I got stuck twice on sandbars and never really had a bite, so I didn't notice that it was gone on that particular day. And if you've already seen the reel that I released a few days ago, you know that that mistake is going to come back to haunt me in just a few minutes. Now that's a really nice eating size redfish. I'm going to measure her, and in the live well she goes because I plan on having fish for dinner. Now, one of the drawbacks of using these flukes is they don't really last that long. In fact, sometimes it only takes one fish to make them unusable. So I'm going to reload, and let's see what happens next. Now, this is interesting to me because often a fish will hit as the lure is falling to the bottom. And it's my experience that most bites on artificial will come early in the cast and retrieve process. But this, if you watch, you can actually see this fish hit about mid-retrieve. In fact, right there is where I feel the bite. I'm going to reel up my slack and set the hook. Fish on. That is a really big redfish. Now, this is when I really start wishing I had my net or another person in the boat just to help. My guess is that fish was at least 30 inches long well over the slot, which does make the sting of losing it at the boat a little easier to process. Now I'm going to re-rig, and although I edit out a portion of the time of me putting my lure back together, this is actually my very next cast. Oh, there it is. Now listen carefully. Do you hear that knocking sound as I'm cranking? That last big fish was also the end of my Penn Battle 2 reel. My guess is the gear stripped because now there's just this knocking sound and it feels like it's skipping as I'm cranking. That reel is probably close to 10 years old, so it's had a good long life, but if anyone knows of a local who can fix or restore Penn spinning reels, please leave a comment for me. If not, what's your favorite spinning reel for inshore fishing? Because I'm getting ready to buy a new one. Oh, that's another really nice keeper. Now, the tide's gone out enough at this point that I needed to head out of the shallow water before I ended up getting stuck again. Now, I tried for a little while out on the main river channel, and I think I maybe got one hit. But the wind was almost unmanageable at that point, and it wasn't long before I called it a day. Hey, listen everyone, thanks again for joining me. I hope to get back out there this weekend and hopefully have something else positive to share. But in the meantime, good luck, and remember, if you see me out on the water, be sure to stop and say hello.